mankind, immortality has always been a remarkably fascinating idea. Throughout time, the quest to eliminate death in order to achieve indefinite life in the physical body has taken various forms. One of the most well-known of such attempts was alchemy. The main goal of alchemy was to produce the lapis philosophorum, the philosopher's stone, a legendary substance which could help in making the elixir of long life, and had the property of turning common metal into gold with its high level of purity. This prevented death, thus making the drinker immortal. Despite the many failed attempts, one name has survived in history that has been associated with an actual discovery of the philosopher's stone. This was Nicolas Flamel, a French librarian and scribe who lived between 1330 and 1418 in Paris. Nicolas Flamel was a man who was very placid his entire life. He read many books on alchemy, and then one day in Paris he stumbled upon an old book written by Abraham the Jew, and Flamel decided to buy it, paying the cheap price of 2 florins. The pages of the book contained images which detailed some of the steps of the great work, as the alchemical process of creating the philosopher's stone was called. Though he never recorded any experiments on humans, they achieved their first successful transmutation, obtaining gold of a far superior quality than the common one, and with a much higher level of purity. Churches at the time thought, since he was able to do this, he could upgrade humans to give them longer lives. Posthumously, however, is when Flamel's reputation became truly legendary. Many alchemists claim that they had met Flamel hundreds of years after his death, that he had perfected his elixir of life, and lived with his wife underground in the Spanish catacombs. There was even a book published that was said to be written by Flamel many years after his death. It was an alchemical book, published in Paris in 1612 and in London in 1624, and its English title is Exposition of the Hieroglyphical Figures, and it was attributed to Flamel. It's a collection of designs purportedly commissioned by Flamel for a tympanum at the Cimetière des Innocents in Paris. Long disappeared at the time the work was published. In the publisher's introduction, Flamel's search for the philosopher's stone was described. According to that introduction, Flamel had made it his life's work to understand the text of a mysterious 21-page book he had purchased. The introduction claims that, around 1378, he travelled to Spain for assistance with translation. On the way back, he reported that he met a sage who identified Flamel's book as being a copy of the original Book of Abramelin the Mage. With this knowledge, over the next few years, Flamel and his wife allegedly decoded enough of the book to successfully replicate its recipe for the philosopher's stone, producing first silver in 1382 and then gold later on down the line. This was backed partly by Flamel's own experiments, though a lot of the events were twisted in the book, but because of the inadequate records kept at the time, they will never truly know how much of Flamel's life was fiction and how much was real. Despite Flamel's alleged successes in the alchemical world, modern-day techniques have been developed. More unorthodox techniques of cloning and stem cell tech have been developed, robotics has been a main focus. One possibility for immortality, which is said more extreme, is to download our minds into robotic vessels. The Avatar Project of 2045 initiative plans to transfer human consciousness into a non-biological substrate, and we could make human-robot hybrids known as cyborgs. Scientists have been able to manufacture artificial hearts that can extend life for up to 4 years, and we may be able to swap failing organ piecemeals to become self-immortal cybernetic organisms. However, our humanity may be lost. It is important to remember in our quest for this holy grail that more harm than good can come with these groundbreaking discoveries, and to be wary of human morals as we strive to prolong our legacies. Thank you for watching.